we'll see. We'll see as we practice this week.
But no, not even a starter going into the game.
Yeah, we'll just see as we go this week.
On the left, Isaiah.
Marlon Klein left the game early. Do you have any update on his injury?
Yeah, working through something. We'll see what the doctors say as he practices this week. I think he'll get back into it tomorrow, Wednesday. But I think he'll be in a good place. But we'll see.
Come over on the right here. We'll start with Charlie.
A couple days removed, you got a little bit of chance maybe to watch the film. What stands out to you was lacking most on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, just execution on offense, turning the ball over, big thing. There's enough good, but not enough good. So we can't turn the football over. That's really the end of the discussion. If you don't turn the football over, you're going to win the game. You're going to put yourself in a position to be in a good place. But we did that, so we have to take care of the football at all costs.
On the right, Larry.
How would you describe the state of the program right now?
I mean, obviously not happy with the record, not happy with the losses, and really just want our kids to be in a good place mentally and spiritually. So that's where we are. You know, we're 4-3, but you know our job now is to get better to be 5-3 this week.
On the right, Jeff.
Outside of the quarterback position, what's been the most disappointing facet of the team performance so far this year?
I mean, just you want to win every game. You know, so it's not that we're all in this together. We're not going to point fingers at any position, any people. So for us, just winning those games and taking care of the football as a whole collective unit.
On the left, Chris.
Is it fair to say you guys are protecting the ball better in practice? And if that's the case, how do you translate that?
Yeah, I feel like you're protecting it way better in practice, and it's just not translating to the game. So we have to figure out, as coaches, as a team, how to translate all that stuff to a game. There's things that you're doing in practice that have to replicate like they have before in the game. And for us as coaches, whether that's simplifying, doing things less so we can be better at those things, especially on offense. And, that's what we'll work toward doing that.
And Miles and Will, do you have any update on them?
I think we'll see again this week. And Miles looks like he's trending in a really good direction.
Back left, Terry.
Yes, the question I have for you. How much is it when it comes to quarterback timing and then also the players running the routes correctly?
Yeah, that's everything. Timing plus spacing equals completion. So it has to be precise time. The alignment, the pre-snap alignment has to align with that, with the quarterback's footwork. So all those things tie into place, and those things have to continue to hone in and get better.
Stay on the left, Ryan.
What would you like to see from the punt operation and execution moving forward?
Yeah, we just got to be better in the punt game, just more distance. Tommy's, he's in the past, he's punted really, really good, and the averages aren't what they have been, so we've just got to be better there. The op's been, as far as the snap, the catch has been good, the protection has been good, but we've got to get the ball down farther so we can change the field position for our defense.
Has there been any discussion about you taking over offensive play calling duties again, or is that Kurt able to?
No, that'll still be Kurt.
On the right, Aaron.
What are you looking to see from the quarterbacks this week, and could you open it up to other quarterbacks?
Yeah, just taking care of the ball. Yeah, that's going to be the number one priority, the biggest thing. You want big plays, you want efficiency, but we have to take care of the football. That'll be the number one priority.
On the left here, Clayton.
The biggest issue is the turnovers, but how do you kind of balance not wanting to turn it over with not wanting to be completely risk averse and not take any chances?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just an overemphasis of the ball security, and not just the ball security of holding the ball, but the placement of the ball, and that goes with the receivers, that goes with the timing of the passing game, that goes with the protection. So all those things put together and those little details will help us be better at that.
And back right, Reiner.
Yeah, how do you explain the program's regression in performance over the last 8 or 9 months?
Yeah, I just think it's about us taking care of the football. Again, I'll say it. I could say it tirelessly. You look at the really what we've done. It's because of the football, and look at last year. Just in terms of fumbles, not very many. Not in terms of picks. JJ had 3 in one game, and after that he only had 1. So we have to do that. If we do that, we'll be in a better place.
What signs of growth have you seen since the beginning of the season? Like, what areas can you point to that actually have improved?
Yeah, I think defensively the guys have really, offensively haven't put them in great positions all the time, and they've really bounced back and done some really good things for us overall. You go in the first half, and end of the half against Washington, block a field goal, and same end of this half, block a field goal. the defensive guys tackled a lot better. I thought Jair Hill played a lot better this past game. He got challenged a lot and made some really good plays. So there's definitely progression. So on the defensive side, I can see that offensively we got to take the steps to go get there.
Back right, Andrew.
You know, you have no control over it, but the fact that this game is at night, especially against Michigan State, do you have any thoughts or preference for
No, it's the next game, but it's a big game. It's the state championship. And our guys are very excited, obviously down about what happened, but excited to go compete against this team that they take a lot of pride in. Paul Bunyan keeping that trophy here. So our guys are excited about the game, and so are the coaches.
In the middle there, Charles.
Yeah, the Michigan State quarterback has shown an ability to use his speed and get outside of the pocket. What's the best way to keep him contained?
Yeah, you got to do a great job with your rush lanes, and that's something we're going to stress and talk about. You got to do that with that guy because once he gets outside the pocket, he can be dynamic. He can do some things to hurt you. So you got to keep him in the pocket. And you got to be really disciplined with your lanes, whether it's a 4-man rush or a 5-man rush, of where you're at in the pocket, keeping him compressed, because if he gets out, he can make things happen with his feet and he can make things happen with his arms. So we got to do things there and then mix up different looks for him. So it's not easy so he can just look at his read and throw to his read. So we got to do a good job of keeping him in his pocket.
All right, Jeff.
Coach, Michigan State has its own ball security issues this year. Can you relate between the two offenses and the ball security issues that have really, as you elicited today, as Michigan State's experience with interceptions, are the offenses similar at all in that respect?
I mean, as far as not taking care of the football, you'd say so, but I just want us to be good. I want us to take care of the football ourselves and not going to worry about what they're doing. We're going to try to take the football away from them, for sure. But for us, we got to do everything we can to keep it.
Stand there right there, Bob.
Sherrone, when you have a team won the national championship last year and now you have 3 losses and that's a significant drop, do you worry, is it a challenge to keep them fully engaged, fully playing for things since maybe some of the prizes aren't available?
I mean, I think you look at the end of the game and what the score was, and you saw Mason Graham, you saw Kenneth Grant, you saw those guys playing their hearts out at the end of the game. So I think the culture oversees, the losses right now. Those guys see what they've done, how they've worked to get to this point, and there's a lot of pride in who they are as people, for them, for their village, for this team, for Michigan. So guys aren't going to stop playing because we're not at the win total we had. We're going to continue to fight regardless of what it is.
On the left there, Ryan.
It looks like on defense, some guys got in there that haven't played much, especially 2 freshmen like Mason Curtis and Josiah Edmond. Is that more of them improving or other guys not living up to standards, or just what went into the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, more of them. Those guys just getting better. They got bright futures. We think Josiah Edmonds can be as good as anybody. He's got great skill set, great ability, great speed. And then Mason Curtis, you're talking about a 6'3" safety that can run and he'll hit you. So felt like those guys, we have these opportunity to practice. We'll have another one today, and it gives a chance younger guys to really evolve and get better. And those are chances for those guys to make a move. We always say let's make a move Monday. If you want to go make it, do it. So those guys got a chance to do it, and those guys definitely take advantage of their opportunities.
On the right here, Austin.
Sherrone, with the turnovers, it seemed like the first time with Jack after the Washington game, you emphasized not wanting him to be too hard on himself. But then when it happened again, maybe a little firmer message, I guess. How do you balance emphasizing that without it becoming maybe like a mental thing for the quarterbacks? Yeah,
definitely. There's definitely a balance for it, and he's an older guy, obviously, that's done it. So you've got to tell him what you think, but also show him and tell him you need him, and show him you love him. But you got to correct it. It can't continue to be a thing. So that's something we'll just continue to harp on.
Angelique.
Sherrone, 2 questions. The Kurt Campbell experiment on the sideline, will that continue on Saturday? And what did he get out, and what did the team get out of that?
I think we'll see. I think I think it was good especially for the quarterbacks, seeing him face to face and being on the field. And I know from my own experience as a play caller, being on the field, it really helped me. But we'll just go through the week and figure out what we think is best for the crew.
And I know hindsight's 20/20, but now when you look back, why ultimately didn't you go into the portal and bring in a quarterback?
I mean, there's a lot of different factors and things that we can talk about, but ultimately, for us right now, we've got to focus on today and focus on who we have on the roster and making sure we can do everything we can to win.
Tony?
I guess, a rivalry game at this point and where the season's sort of going? I mean, do you see it could sort of be somewhere where the season sort of goes two ways? Is this another picking up point? I guess how big is it?
I think it's huge. It's a huge game. You're playing Michigan State, and it's a rivalry. It's the in-state rivalry, and everything's on the line. We got to keep Paul Bunyan here, and there's a lot of pride in that trophy. There's a lot of pride in this rivalry, and we're gonna do everything we can to win.
Got time for 4 more questions, which I already got them all in the queue here. So we're gonna start all the way in the back with John.
Sherrone, in your mind, how many guys are in line to possibly start at quarterback this week as you head into practice this weekend? Does that not impact installing a game?
We'll see as we go through the week.
Does that not affect installing a game plan?
Yeah, I think
Still trying to figure that out.
you have a game plan. You have different things that guys are better at, and then she'll feature for individual people. But we definitely have a process for what we'll go through and how we'll go through installing it all.
In the front here, Dennis.
Is Tuttle's arm strength where it was before he got hurt? Is that a work in progress with him coming back?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's pretty. It's probably 95%. So it's still there. You know, he tried to drive that last one and he drove instead of throwing it over. So it's still there, and he made some really good throws. So I think his arm strength is where it needs to be.
Could you update the progress you've seen from Jaden Davis and maybe some things he has to work on to be a viable college quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, just continue to learn the system, learn the playbook, which I think he has done a good job of, and continue to improve his strength and his things in his toolbox. So he's definitely continued to progress.
On the left, Chris.
What did you see from right tackle with Andrew Gentry give you a little boost there?
Yeah, I thought Gentry played well overall. A couple, technique falters, but definitely you can see the effort, you can see the strain, and I thought he played pretty well at that tackle spot. So I think he'll continue to stay there at that right tackle spot for sure.
And then center, the same thing with Griffin. Do you think he'll continue?
Yeah, I think he played well. We'll continue to continue to push the guys, but those guys did a good job.
Last question on the left, Isaiah.
I was going to ask the same question as Dennis about Jaden Davis, but where have you seen him make the most growth since you wrapped as an early enrollee?
Yeah, just probably progression and knowledge of not only the system but just football in general. Yeah, when you're in high school, you do limited things. You're limited in what you do, and he's definitely taken steps to put himself in a good position.